I am going to debunk Kirk's argument against libertarian socialism as a form of Marxism, and his second argument that you have to be a capitalist for you to be even considered true libertarian. All right, let's get into the first argument. Libertarian socialism as a form of Marxism. Let's debunk this real quickly as it shows you how uneducated he is. Libertarian school of thought for socialism has been here for just as long as the original school of thought of socialism itself. The most prominent figure of this school was Brigadier Joseph Buhan, as Brigadier Joseph Buhan back then has proudly stated to be a libertarian socialist and anarchist. He was the creator of mutualism, and he was the father of anarchism, otherwise the inspiration behind anarchism. And enough about that. Let's get into why did Karl Marx mention libertarian socialism within the Communist Manifesto. To put it simply, he sees libertarian socialists as a legitimate form of socialism, which means that it could be used to achieve a communist society. Does that mean that it's a form of Marxism? No, unless you are talking to a communist that believes in libertarian socialism. That's the only time that it's going to be considered Marxism. But anyway, proves you that, well, I just debunked the argument, so I'm just going to go on to the second argument. The fact that you have to be a capitalist to even be considered libertarian. That shows you the biggest contradictory right off the bat. You are forced to be capitalist to even be considered libertarian, which is not only a contradiction to Kirk's argument of being considered a true libertarian, but it also is a contradiction to the thought of libertarianism itself, as libertarian is a free school of thought which can take in any shape and form it wants. Trying to force a one-tracted mind of libertarianism is automatically going to be rendered as authoritarianism, no matter how much of a justification you justify it for. And I could go even further that capitalism is not a form of libertarianism, as one, it forces you to have a piece of property for you to even have political voting rights in the first place. Not only that, but it forces you into a coercive system where you have to have, your borders open for this so-called global trade association. And not only that, but for you to be truly successful, you are either forced to be a worker for the rest of your life or own a business. This shows you that capitalism is not libertarianism. But anyway,